Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
Hey guys, today I am in Georgetown with Swamp Fox Tours and we're gonna see some historical sites, so come along on the ride with us.
All right, well, let's take off. So let's give the basic overview of Georgetown. Is that I mentioned that my family's been here since about 1740. Well, this city was forming somewhere around 1700. We're the third oldest city in South Carolina. It goes Charleston. Let me see if I can get us out of this rain today. Charleston, Beaufort, and then Georgetown. So we were established as a city in 1729 and a port of entry in 1732. Because what was happening here in Georgetown at the time is that all of the goods that you needed to survive with came in strictly through the port of Charleston. It was the only port of entry, and everything was being heavily taxed. So the people here, they wanted to ease some of that taxation, so they wanted to become a port of entry. So between lumber, indigo, which was a plant that made a deep blue or deep purple colored dye, and rice, this was a very, very wealthy area. Oh, y'all, let's see if we can get us out of this rain.
This is the real deal. You're seeing what it's actually like. The weather is very unpredictable around these parts.
These little storms come through really quick, so hopefully this one will ease off. I could probably get on the other street and it won't be as bad. Let's sit underneath, squeeze in underneath this tree right here. And here we have the Joseph Hayne Rainey home. Joseph Rainey, this is a National Registry Historic Site. Joseph Rainey had been born enslaved. And when he was able to gain his freedom, his family's freedom, and after the Civil War, he ended up back in Georgetown. And the reason the house is plaqued for him is that Joseph Rainey was the first African-American member to the U.S. House of Representatives. He was born in Georgetown. He passed away in Georgetown. Our city has a very high inventory of 18th and 19th century structures still standing. At our height, we had over 200 plantations producing, and roughly 70% of the rice that was consumed in this country and being shipped out came out of Georgetown County. Now, I mentioned lumber. You see how the oak trees, how it has the V, how the trees do a V?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that became the perfect joint for ships. So that's why there was all this lumber going out. England, during this time, was actually, they were clear cutting so many lots, so much of the land, that for cattle. So lumber had to come out of this area to go back across the pond.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know of Francis Marion, the great soldier from South Carolina that was fighting against the British? Well, here we have a cottage here, this greenhouse where he built in 1737, and this is where he was given his walking papers out of South Carolina by the British.
Wow.
The British overtook our city from 1780 to 1781. Keep in mind, Georgetown is technically older than the established United States. In 3 years, this year the United States is celebrating 250. In 3 years, Georgetown celebrates 300.
What?
So we actually are older than the United States of America.
That's really cool.
So we are the oldest running tour company in downtown Georgetown.
Hey.
Yeah, just sit back, relax, and we have local guides. We've got a series of other guides that work with us. And we just enjoy taking people around and letting them experience downtown Georgetown.
When do you do tours?
Our tours are Monday through Saturday, 11, 1, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how do you sign up?
You just call our number, 843-527-1112, and someone will take your reservation and give you all the info on where to meet the tour tram.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, guys, welcome back to Living Local Carolina. I have been exploring Brookgreen Gardens today, and I am at the Low Country Zoo, and I'm joined by zookeeper Katie. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing much better because I've gotten to be out in the fresh air today. It is so beautiful here, and you truly live a charmed life because you get to be a zookeeper every day. What is that like?
It's pretty cool. Like every day is something new. So we do have a native animal collection. So all of our animals would be found traditionally in the Low Country.
Nice.
So we have like wolves, foxes, otters. We also have a heritage barn. So we have like horses, cows, sheep, goats. But every day is something different, something new. And yeah.
Nice. And okay, we are standing right now in front of the red wolf habitat.
Yes.
Tell me all about this place.
So this was a work of many years. We rely, being a nonprofit, we rely heavily on donations and through the admission costs. A lot of that money goes into bettering our enclosures for our animals, feeding them, giving them enrichment and things like that. But the Red Wolf Ridge, it was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into that.
I can imagine.
But red wolves, they are the most endangered canid species in the world. So there's only about 200 of them left in the world. So the fact that we have 3 here is pretty cool.
Yeah. And this is the place to go if you really want to learn more, because you guys are the experts when it comes to the animals. So do you have an exhibit here that maybe is your favorite? Are you allowed to choose a favorite animal as a zookeeper?
It's kind of hard to choose a favorite. If I had to pick, it would definitely be our otters.
Okay.
So our otter enclosure is actually split into 2 different things. So we have like this glass exhibit. You can see the otters swimming in the pool. They like to follow you if you like walk along the glass exhibit. But we also have a natural cypress marsh swamp enclosure. So the tide goes in and out naturally. So sometimes the otters are doing like all these flips in really deep water. But then when like tide is low, they are hunting for like fiddler crabs and all sorts of little goodies in there.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the other exhibits here. When I walked in, I got to see the baby goats.
Yes.
So you have goats and cows and sheep, I think, too?
Yes.
Okay,
sheep
tell me
and,
more.
We also have marsh tacky horses. So all heritage breeds. Our Spanish goats here are actually specifically the Low Country Spanish goats. So they all came from an island in South Carolina. So we specifically breed them. We're part of a breeding program in order to keep that kind of like subspecies lineage going.
Very cool.
So right now we do have like 5 baby goats, and they are pains in my butts, but they are super cute.
And you were saying they were Low Country baby goats.
Yes.
I was going to say, I didn't get it on camera, but I saw one with Spanish moss in its mouth. And I don't
Yes.
think it's more Low Country than that.
Yeah, no, these guys love their Spanish moss. They love it when like a storm rolls through because all the trees lose the Spanish moss, or they will get, especially our live oak trees, if they have limbs fall. All of our animals pretty much love the Spanish moss. Our otters, sometimes they will like grab it and like make a little nest or like bed
Wow.
sort of thing. Yeah.
Using the elements.
Yeah.
Well, very cool, Katie. The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by J&K Home Furnishings. You're watching Living Local Carolina, and today I'm at J&K Home Furnishings. Spring is one of the best times, I think, to really refresh your home, get some new pieces.
It is.
John,
out
how
with
are
the
you?
Old. I'm great. I'm great. Spring's a great time, as you were saying, to out with the old, in with the new. A spring refresh. And what better way to do it than with our Miramar collection?
Yes, tell me about this collection. It's so springy in here.
It is. It's a great new collection that is exclusive to us at J&K. That's one thing we do at our markets. We create and cultivate lines that are exclusive to us and our clients. And with this, we have a wonderful whole home collection. Bedroom, 2 dining options, and occasional tables.
So are these pieces a little coastal? What kind of style are they?
You have a great combination of a woven raffia front mixed with a gloss white finish. No distressing, which is a little different from our other light collections.
Definitely. So you were saying this is a whole home collection.
100%.
So you can find all kinds of pieces, right?
Oh, great pieces. Console pieces, occasional tables. As behind us is a beautiful curio with lights, and then all of the bedroom pieces.
Love it. And of course, what I love about you guys is that everything is constantly changing here.
Oh, yes.
So you have great little accessories to go with
Always
everything.
new. Great accessories, bedding, lighting, artwork, all that enhance all of our collections, not just Miramar.
Okay, if somebody wanted to come shop and look around, where are you guys located?
Well, go to our website because we have 7 locations, www.jkhomefurnishings.com. You'll see the addresses and it'll direct you right into us.
This portion of Living Local Carolina was sponsored by J&K Home Furnishings. Welcome back to Living Local Carolina. Today I've got my boots on and I am with Ranger Mike. Where are we standing right now, Ranger Mike?
So right now we're on the observation deck overlooking Sandpiper Pond, and we're getting ready to take a trek down the Sandpiper Pond Nature Trail, which is one of the main nature trails to be found here at Huntington Beach State Park.
Okay, so how can people find this trail and how long is it? Like, do you need to prepare beforehand or is it pretty easy?
So, I mean, it's fairly moderate terrain. It's about a little over a mile in length. Now, it is a linear trail, so keep in mind, if it's 1.2 miles long, you're also going to have 1.2 miles to walk back.
Way back.
So we'll add up roughly about 2.5 miles. There are trailheads located at the North Beach parking lot, which is normally the entrance that I recommend to folks. You're closer to a restroom and you got much more parking there.
Yeah.
And you're also closer to the beach. The other end of this trail actually comes out right near the nature center.
All right.
That's your other option.
And what are some of the sights that you can see on this nature trail?
So if you go in through the North Beach access, you have this great overlook, which lets you look down the length of the pond. This actually gives you your best view of Sandpiper Pond. But the trail will cover mostly maritime forests, those forests that are adapted for living near the ocean. We have some great some great examples of live oak trees, pine trees, a lot of wax myrtle and Yopon holly shrubs. There you'll have glimpses of the pond, which is brackish water, and then there's one area where we put in the culverts that you'll get glimpses of salt marsh ecosystems. Another thing that's interesting is notice the rolling terrain. Much of what is now the forest was sand dunes maybe 100 years ago.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, thanks again for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I'm joined in studio by Billy, who is from Day One, Week One. How are you doing, Billy?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. All right, let's get right into it.
Okay.
Tell me about your organization.
So in June 9th of this year, 2023, I had an idea to start a nonprofit for first responders and veterans. The suicide rate across our country is astronomical. I did a little bit of research, and it's not hard to find over 450 first responders killed themselves last year in 2022. And that doesn't account for the 6,000 veterans that have killed themselves since the wars have started in 2001. There's a passion and a heavy burden on my heart to stop my brothers and sisters from killing themselves. So I started the nonprofit. It's called Day One, Week One. What we're doing is we're providing a platform for them on our podcast to come and tell their stories. They talk about their traumatic experiences, how they got through those, what their support system looked like, the people that they've reached out to, and some of those people they didn't reach out to when they were in dark places. My personal story of 2 years ago, I was in that frame of mind of suicide. I'd gone through a kind of not a traumatic event, but a traumatic experience in my career. And I felt like I had lost my identity. And with losing that identity and losing the touch of the people in my support system, I didn't feel like there was another place to go. Thankfully, my wife, being as incredible as she is, reached out after I called her and told her that today's a bad day. She reached out to a friend of ours who was an elder in our church. Within minutes, he arrived at my house. And he got out of the car and he kind of gave me a little smirk, but he did something that literally changed my life. He put his hand on the back of my neck and he put his head to my head. He said, "I'm not going to let you do this today. We're doing this together. So for every day that you need me here, I'm going to be here." And it changed my life. The physical touch in that moment, that's what we're missing. That's what we've lost over the years. So Day One, Week One wants to bring that back. My goal is to have a mental health triage group that can self-deploy into these situations. I'm not talking about having them in a situation where they're going to put themselves in danger or anyone else. They're not going to go to an active situation. It's going to be someone that reaches out and says, "Hey, I need help." They're going to deploy. They're going to go where they are. Unlike a 911 or a crisis center where they would just talk to them on the phone and kind of consider their resources, they're going to deploy to where they are. "Hey, let's go get a cup of coffee. Let's go get a sandwich. Let's talk about what's going on," and then make that connection. And the triage part of it will be to find out exactly what they need and get them the resources that they need from that.
I love it. Okay. How can people listen to your podcast or learn more information?
So all you got to do is go to dayoneweek1.org. Obviously, we're taking donations. The big thing about the donations is we're obviously still building this organization. So there's costs, startup costs, there's different things, application fees, things like that go along with it. But eventually, when all of those things are complete, the plan is that we're going to start sponsoring first responders, helping to pay for some of their medical bills, their seeking mental health bills, their counseling and things like that. The best way to reach out, you can go to any platform. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, TikTok, Truth Social, Getter. We've opened up all of the avenues so that you can't really miss us, hopefully, out there. And we want to make sure that everybody's understanding and knowing that Day One, Week One is here.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.